computer. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Aligning with Success. It is September 12th, and we're into September now. Fantastic. It's the fall. It's an important time of the year for everybody as everybody sort of regains their routine of the typical work week. You know, the summer holiday events are now in the rearview mirror, and now begins the hunker down and get to work kind of a atmosphere, which brings up the importance of making ourselves and our presence known. Now, I put this presentation together for Seikokai in Germany that I presented earlier today, and I just wanted to touch on this concept of events, because I think it's really important we get back to live events, especially since we now have the opportunity to do it. We ought to do it. It's one of the strengths of not only the Nikken business, because it's during those live events we're able to do things with the products, for instance, demonstrations and whatnot, that we're simply not able to do just over a video call. I'm going to be at a live event this weekend in Montreal. Leo, maybe you can give us the details on that at the end of the call. So if you've got some contacts in the Montreal area that you'd like to have a look at Nikken, great opportunity for them to do that at this very powerful live event. So live events is the lifeblood to our business. I cannot imagine building a Royal Diamond business without live events. I really don't think it's possible. Or I don't think it's possible to keep an organization together without live events. It's the nature of people. It's the nature of any social type scenario where, I mean, gatherings are what makes something something. And, you know, if you think about it, would Christianity be as successful as they've been if there wasn't Sunday Mass? You know, there has to be something that brings people together with some regularity that allows the thing to thrive, to grow, to even, like, for instance, family dinners. How often do you get together for family dinner? I know for us in our Italian family, it's very important that we do a family dinner once a week. No matter how busy our lives get, no matter what direction everybody goes, we try and keep that tradition, because it's the one time a week where we are a family. We get to feel each other, experience each other, and hear each other's complaints and all that and whatever. Just, it's the dynamic. So events make a splash, make a difference. And there are some events like the ones that Leo's doing, for instance, that can really help get an organization galvanized and create momentum and grow. Those are big events. The bigger the event, the more of a splash the event makes. Now, what's the purpose of having a live event? Well, it's the one thing you can do that you can't do as an individual: create social proof. The idea that people see other people, and that proves that there's interest there, that there's a viable thing. It's a going concern. The event itself, the job of the event is to communicate a vision with enthusiasm. It's the enthusiastic communication of a vision. So what's the vision that you want to communicate at the event? Obviously with Nikken, it's the power of the products, the power of the business, and the power of the network, the teamwork and the camaraderie. All of this leads people to making decisions. And as I said earlier, the bigger the event, the bigger the decision. So events lead to decisions. Now, an example of an event would be an ABC. That's an event. If you do an ABC, you're going to be leading the prospect to making a decision to do more further due diligence on Nikken, or a decision to get involved, or a decision to order some products, the point of which is the event leads to a decision of some sort. And the bigger the event, the bigger the decision. So we have the daily decisions that are happening, the daily events, the ABCs that happen every day that cause somebody to be more interested and decide to investigate Nikken. We have the weekly decisions. These are the decisions that a person who has learned enough about Nikken decides to get involved, either as a customer or as a business owner. Those are the decisions that we hope get made on a weekly basis. Then there's the monthly decisions. The monthly decisions are the decisions that people make usually at the monthly gatherings to take Nikken on as a business, to really move forward and maybe set a goal that they hadn't set yet. And they make those decisions because they see social proof that people who have made those decisions are winning. They see new silvers and hear their testimonies. They hear product testimonies. What do they see? They see social evidence, social proof that the business works, and that's why they make a decision to get more committed to the business on those monthly events. That's why those events are so critical. The events lead to the decision because they offer social proof. It's the one thing that has to happen in order to galvanize the movement. You have to have social proof that there is a movement. Now, some of you have seen this presentation before, this image. And the idea here is we need to bring alignment to upline, downline, crossline, and Nikken where these events are concerned. We need to be saying something consistently. We can't have everybody saying something different. We can't have competing events. We need to work together to have events that are synchronistic so that when people attend, they hear a compelling message over and over again, which leads to the decision that this is real. They need the social proof. So bringing alignment to an event or the schedule of events is really, really critical. So always think in terms of a schedule of events that helps further the movement and the communication of that vision to higher degrees. Let's say, for instance, we have all these people standing around the swimming pool. That's a swimming pool. They're holding a rock in their hand. That rock represents, I don't know, a decision, a choice, a movement, an action. By having these events coordinated and aligned, we can have a common vision, a common focus. If there's a common focal point, then people move toward that focal point and it can create a huge outcome, which is what we're after. We want momentum. Momentum is what is needed in order to grow this business and create it to be in such a way that it's self-sustaining. You know, I don't really have to do much to earn a check. I really don't. I haven't had to do much for a long time. I do what I do, but it's not much, and I don't have to earn a check because I have a business that has momentum because the business carries on with or without me. There are people out there making decisions, participating in events that I'm not even putting on, that I'm not even hosting, but the events are happening because somebody has taken it on. People who have led organizations are event builders, event creators, event managers. So with this focal point, we can cause a huge splash, a big result. And so an example would be the event in Montreal. That could be a huge event for Montreal if all the members of the team in the area focus on that event to make that event a very enthusiastic event that communicates a very powerful vision. And if everybody's on the same page and they're leading people to that event is going to have power and could create quite a splash. I know because I've done that. I launched Canada this way. My first public event in Canada, we had 42 people. And then when we had our major event for the month, that was 230 people. So, but it started with one meeting with one person. The little meetings lead to the big meetings. But if it wasn't for the little meetings, there would be no big meeting. You see, they all work together to create a movement. But there's a focal point. When we all converged on that one day in Toronto with 230 people, and we had our special meeting with our special guest speaker, that created a big splash. All of a sudden, 230 people in that room knew Nikken was real. They have to just look around to see the excitement and the energy that there were people in attendance that took time out of their day, out of their night to come and check something out. They heard enthusiastic commentary. They saw people communicating their passion and the experiences of the products. They heard a vision about a company that started in Japan in 1975 to change the world through health and wellness. And that started a movement. These events in succession, we call the rhythm of Nikan. So start thinking in terms of events, even a one-on-one, a coffee shop, a video call, that's an event. Make your events powerful. Line up those events and communicate a vision. We all are part of Vision 2025. So Vision 2025 needs to be in your vocabulary, needs to be in your presentation, because you're contributing to that vision. There has to be alignment and a common focal point. We are all part of the creation of Vision 2025. The only question you have to ask yourself is, what percentage of those 10 million new active wellness members are you going to be responsible for, you and your team? That's your personal vision. Now, every event is an ABC, whether it's an ABC, which includes just 1A, 1B, and 1C, or it's a huge event, which has many A's, many B's, and many C's. And there's a few variations. There's private events, like an in-home, where you might have 1A, 1B, and a bunch of C's. A wellness preview. A wellness preview, like the event that we're doing in Montreal, well, there's going to be more than 1A. I'm going to be the one of the A's, but there's several A's in that presentation who will be presenting. And there'll be many wellness consultants, B's, who've invited many guests, C's. In fact, I think the latest numbers are the C's outnumber the A's and B's. That's what you want at a very successful event. And what you create is leverage. The power of that social proof is leverage. Those C's are going to see something, and it's going to get very exciting for them. What they're going to hear is the third-party credibility of the A's, presenting their experience, their knowledge, their personal success story, the social proof. The B's who invited those people, they're also there to share their testimony and validate those experiences. But those B's are the ones who are leveraging. They're taking advantage of the situation, of the event, to impress on their target audience, their C's, why Nikan is such a great possibility for them. Now, one thing when it comes to an ABC, whether you're doing it just an ABC, 1A, 1B, 1C, or a large event, very, very important we understand edification. Can you imagine inviting me to a call and saying, let's say you're Barb Richmond and you invite me to a call to meet Mary Ellen. And Barb says, hey, Mary Ellen, glad you can make it. Hey, Mike, glad you can make it. Mary Ellen, this is Mike. Mike, this is Mary Ellen. If that was it, that was your introduction, how excited would Mike be to talk to Mary Ellen? And how excited would Mary Ellen be to talk to Mike? Not very excited at all. I don't know anything about Mary Ellen. She doesn't know anything about me. So the stage wasn't set. How do you
No
set
edification?
No edification. You need to set the stage for an ABC. You need to tell the C why the A is something or someone you need to listen and learn about. Share the successes, share the credentials, share their achievements. And the A needs to be informed about the C, especially if it's an ABC where there's just one A, one B, and one C. The A needs to know who is the C. And so it's the job of the B to introduce the C to the A in such a way that the A is edified and the C is edified. And then the B also, all they have to do is sit back and let it take its course. But imagine if instead Barb said, Mary Ellen, I want to introduce you to Mike DiMuccio. And she tells this person, Mary Ellen, all about me and the successes I've had and so forth, my achievements, my success, maybe even something Mary Ellen might relate to that she knows about me, that Mary Ellen could relate to, that makes Mary Ellen even more curious about me. And then she then turns and says, Mike, I want to introduce you to Mary Ellen. She's one of my best friends or acquaintances I've known for so-and-so, and this is what she's into and so on and so forth. And she gives me all the wonderful details of why Mary Ellen is such an amazing human being and why this call would be really great for her. Now you've set the stage. Now that call is going to have power and impact because there's two people who are excited to meet each other and learn what the other person has to say. Edification is what makes an ABC powerful. So be sure to edify the A and the C if you're hosting an event. And that means even a live event, a big event. When you invite people to the stage, boy, make that invitation special. Make the audience super excited about who they're going to hear, and make the person who you're introducing excited about themselves. You know, we used to do big events back in the day, and the one thing we learned from our coaches, our mentors, would always be, if you're doing the introduction, whoever's introducing the speaker, your job is really simple. Get the speaker excited, get the speaker excited, get the speaker excited, because you want a speaker who's excited on stage. And that's going to get the audience excited. All right, we're winding down here. Last slide. So here's some notes to make an event useful. If you are not measuring these things, your event will not be useful. Because how will you know an event has been a success if you're not measuring anything? So set a personal goal. How many people you have in attendance? How many people join the team? How much volume will you create? Set goals. Set attendance goals, set goals, personal goals. What will you achieve? What rank will you achieve as a consequence? Set a team goal. If you've got members on your team, even if you don't have members, set a goal to have a member. Join your team. Set team goals for the event. Offer incentives. Sometimes incentives are important, especially when it comes to team members. Say, look, I'm going to give a prize to the person who brings the most people to the event. I'm going to give a prize to people who've traveled the furthest to come to the event. So figure out ways to incentivize the effort so that there's some recognition in the effort of bringing people to the event and getting people to the event. I've even offered incentives like airline tickets. You might say, well, that's a pretty expensive proposition. Hey, listen, if you're going for a rank and one of those ranks is, let's say, a diamond, and having somebody attend your event, I'll give you an example. I was going for Royal Diamond, and having one of my team members go break a platinum was going to be a critical component of that effort. And so I offered an airline ticket to the person who learned about Nikan only 3 days before the event. I said, you come to the event, I'll pay for your flight. Now, that person ended up going silver that month, causing the platinum ship. So was it worthwhile? Well, that platinum ship turned into a diamond ship and became one of my $50,000 a month legs. So yeah, that was a small price to pay up front, but I saw it as a reasonable investment because of the nature of the person. So think about incentives in a way that's strategic. If this person is really, really somebody worth it, if this teammate is really something and worth it, apply incentives. Make your event powerful and leverage it to the best of your ability. Finally, the pre and post, the event before the event and the event after the event, that's the real follow-up. That's the real event. So meet beforehand, plan beforehand, and meet afterwards and plan afterwards. What's the results? Review the results, because that's what matters. You have to measure something to know if the event was a success. I know people in the past have made mistakes. They thought, hey, there were a lot of people at the event, so it was a success. My question always to them is, how many of them were yours? See, they didn't have a personal goal. They may have been the only one on their team at the event. Even though the event had a lot of people, the event was good for the people who were hosting the event, but was it good for you? Did you leverage it? So these are things that are important to making the most out of an event, to leveraging the event, and events are critical to building a network. And building a network is critical to having residual ongoing passive income. So become somebody who becomes an event coordinator or event participant, help create an event, be part of an event, volunteer to be part of an event, be a presenter at an event. Start thinking about having live events in some way. And it may just start off with a Zoom event. I mean, start somewhere, but start being an event provider, because it's the people who host the events that make the money in NECAP. And that's true network marketing at large. Because eventually you're going to find that people on your team will be replacing you, and then you'll be hosting bigger events or events elsewhere. You'll be invited to be guests at events because you're somebody who is familiar with what happens at an event, the importance of an event. So I think events are something that we need to get busy at, because that is the lifeblood of the business. It was the in-homes that led to the wellness previews, that led to the monthlies, that led to the quarterlies. And right now we have quarterlies, we have monthlies, but we don't have enough of those in-homes to support the monthlies and the quarterlies. Our numbers should be growing every single month. You should see more people at those events, not the same amount. And an example as well in this call. This call should be a call that should be growing in numbers. If it's a good call, if it's valuable, it's something that would be growing. So promote, become a promoter of events. Events that you think can help your business, promote, 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 promote wherever you are. Barb, you're on mute.
Yeah, we need to be promoting our Seiko Kais, our Master Days, and the upcoming convention in October.
October 22nd, write that down. October 22. And how many of you are going to actually submit a video for that? They're requesting us to put in a video, little 10-second video clips here or there. Could be fun. It's going to be fun. The idea is, what is the idea? Think about it. You're doing an event online. Think about it. After what we just talked about, you're going to host an event online. You're going to make it the biggest event of the year. What's the most important thing that an event offers? Social proof. How do we create social proof in an online environment? And make it fun and make it interesting.
Have 115-second clips
of
people doing it.
There you go. That's a great answer. That's a great way to do it. So let's do it. That's what we do. We create events. We're participants in events. We help collaborate and create exciting opportunities. Now, if you did an event, if you did a clip or one or two or three, I think Luis Casuga was on the call. He spoke before I did today, and he said, I know some of these events, they're so boring. They're so long. They're so boring. You're probably thinking that, right? And he's like, yeah, you're thinking that if you got no guests. But if you've got guests, you're not thinking that. So in other words, same thing. If you're speaking at an event, if you're participating in an event, you're going to be much more excited about that event. And if you're excited about an event, you're going to promote it. See how one thing leads to the other. And if you're promoting an event, you're leveraging. And if you're leveraging, you're building a network. And if you're building a network, you're doing what it is that we do in this business. So promote, promote, promote. And the easiest way to promote is to actually participate. And then you'll promote as a consequence. What are the things, by the way? How does let's say you want to host a big event. One of the best ways to host a big event and to get attendance at your event is to invite people to speak at your event. Because once somebody's speaking at your event, they're committed to speaking at your event, you now have their influence with their network. And they're going to promote it to their network, their audience. And they're going to promote it to your audience, because they're now a guest speaker, and your audience is going to say, oh, I haven't heard that person in a while. I want to go see them. I want to hear them talk. So inviting people to participate is a great way to leverage and to create an excitement for the event and to get more people promoting and endorsing the event. JJ.
Good evening, Mr. Michael. How are you?
Terrific, thanks.
Good. Mike and I did a holistic health fair Saturday and Sunday. We got approximately 46 contacts.
Wow.
I invited 8 people that checked, they wanted more information about the business. How I did it was emails and text. I said that you as the A were Royal Diamond in Niken and that you would share about the business. Nobody is here. That's okay.
Okay.
Is there a better way to do it? Or I'm
Yes.
going to follow up, but I
That
need
was
to know.
impersonal. That was impersonal. They don't know enough about me. They don't know what it means, a Royal Diamond in the business. It wasn't a personal invitation to meet with me. It was a cattle call to a meeting online.
Okay.
So it was impersonal. And in that regard, they don't have enough information. You didn't create a big enough why for them to want to be at this call. So if people are motivated, they'll be here. If they're not motivated, it's because they have not been given reason to be motivated. So I would want to know each one of those people, what their motive is. Do you know, did you have enough time with each of them as individuals to
No.
learn about, okay, so you haven't yet done step one and you're already on
Okay.
step two. Step one is pick up the phone, call them and have a conversation.
Okay.
Build a relationship first.
Get to know what they're looking for. What was it about what they saw that gave that? Why did they leave their name? Find out what is exciting to them. What did they see that excited them? What might they be looking for in life? What's going right for them? What's not going right for them? The more you learn about them, when you turn around and finally say to them, you know what? I really think that Niken may be a home for you, may be a fit for you. I don't know. It's not for everyone. You always say that. However, given what you've told me, I really think you'll find this fascinating. Now, you see, now because they told you so much about themselves and they know you now understand where they're coming from, if you turn around and say, you know what, I can totally appreciate where you're coming from. In fact, I think I might have something that will be right up your alley. Now they're going to say, really? What's that? Now they're going to lean into it. So you got to get up close and personal. That's how this business really flies. Then there will be the opportunity to invite them to a call like this, because at that point in time, they may want to hear from somebody with experience, because now they know a little bit enough about Niken, and they know that you know that it could be a fit for them. So you might want to send them something that they can review so they can turn around and say, wow, this is really exciting. It sounds really interesting. Say, well, you know what? I'm sure you have questions, and I'm sure you'd want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. How about I arrange for you to meet one of our top income earners, and you can ask him questions about the business and get his point of view. I can make that happen. See how that sounds?
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
going, you can make that happen? Yeah, I can. How are you fit for Monday at 9? His schedule is very busy. He does leave that opening at 9 for us. Okay, I can make that happen. Great. So put this in your calendar right now, Monday at 9. You might want to dial in a minute or two ahead of time just to beat the queue. Anyway, see how I'm doing that? I'm really giving that person excitement and a reason for them to want to be on the call.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Barb?
A phrase I found that works generally pretty well is, you don't have to take my word for it. Let me introduce you to somebody else. You can get a different perspective, get their experience. Here's somebody else's point of view. And that oftentimes opens a door that was partially closed.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Leo, tell us about the details for your upcoming event.
Yes, it's next Sunday, 18th September, 1 o'clock to 4,
1 o'clock to 4 p.m. Sunday, the 18th of September. Where?
with Mike DiMuccio.
With me and Leo and his entourage of new silver superstars.
Yeah, I have a celebrate 8 new silver, 9's coming. before June to today.
So since the last time I was there,
9 silver, 2 club.
9 new silver. So I was there in June. Was it June?
Yeah, June, January, and August. And today, 9 new silver and 2 club KI.
And 2 club KIs. So it's an opportunity for us to celebrate victories, which creates what? What does that do for the audience? It establishes social proof. Social proof, the business works. And that is what's going to trigger decisions to be made on Sunday by those who've been spectators until now, or those who are just doing a little bit of homework until now. When they see the social proof, when they see the evidence, that's when they're going to make a decision. So this Sunday is a huge event for the Montreal Connection, because this group is going to leverage the social proof of their successes at one moment in time, all together at the same time. And that's that splash that I was talking about.
And so
Where is it?
it's got to be the bilingual.
It's going to be bilingual. Excellent.
And I find somebody to translate you English, French, French to English. Go.
Terrific.
I have a Zoom link to share to Mike. You can see from Toronto.
Oh, okay. So we'll be able to broadcast as well. So you'll have to get me that Zoom link as well. So you'll be able to see online if
Yeah.
you're not in attendance personally.
Yeah, because I have some consultant friends and north of Toronto, Ontario, and that I have a Zoom. and
Now
share to
now
Mike.
I just want to say something here. That's leverage. Okay. That's leverage. This idea is simple. All the TV shows, the late night TV shows and so forth that millions of people grew up watching. They shoot that show in front of a live studio audience, and then they broadcast it to the world in their different time zones. This is the same idea. We're doing the event in front of a live studio audience, but it's going to be live streamed on Zoom, so you can participate anywhere in the world. That's leverage. Brilliant. And where's it going to be, Leo? It's in Laval. What's the building?
Palace, Laval, same place.
Palace Congress or Congress Palace, Palace Congress in Laval.
Yes, Congress Center in Laval.
Congress Center in Laval. Okay. The
North of
Palace
Montreal.
Congress Center of Laval.
Yes.
1 o'clock to 4 o'clock this coming Sunday, September 18. For those of you watching the playback, some people definitely start getting the engines going there. You want to get them to that event. For those of you who will not be able to be at that event, but want to still be a fly on the wall, we'll get that link out to you through the social media channels and the WhatsApp channels, so that you know how to plug in. All right, guys, it's 10 o'clock. It's been a great evening, great call. Hopefully you got something here that you might want to share with your group. Have a good one.
Thanks, Mike.